Hello, Loveland. I'm Mike Meldon, and this is your Loveland Weekly Podcast, brought to you by Gina Dubell Smith, eXp Realty, and Stone Pillar Farm. Well, everyone, this is a special episode where I had the privilege of sitting down with Tori Morrison, the remarkable force behind the Ben Morrison Fund. Tori's journey is one of heartbreak turned into unwavering determination and compassion. The Ben Morrison Fund was born out of the profound loss of Tori's son, Ben, who tragically died by suicide in March of 2021 at the age of 19. Tori, along with her family, made a courageous choice not to remain silent about the pain they experienced, but instead decided to channel their grief into something impactful. In our conversation, Tori graciously shares with us the story of Ben, the inspiration behind the fund, and the driving force that fuels their mission. Their dedication is clear: to erase the stigma surrounding mental health struggles, initiate crucial conversations, and provide lifelines for those in crisis. Tori will delve into the origins of the Ben Morrison Fund, outlining their commitment to making a difference in the lives of individuals battling mental health challenges. The Ben Morrison Fund has set forth a clear mission articulated through tangible actions. Tori will discuss their ongoing efforts, such as providing scholarships to graduating seniors at Loveland High School, encouraging young people to persevere through adversity. Additionally, they offer financial support to critical support systems for youths facing mental health crises. Join us as we discuss this poignant and inspiring narrative, learning about the resilience and hope that can arise from such a profound loss. Tori Morrison's story exemplifies the transformative power of turning tragedy into advocacy, and we are honored to have her share this story with us. Today is Monday, November 13th, 2023. Do you find that people don't know what to say to you? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like totally at a loss.
Yeah. And there really isn't anything you can say. And I think that some days you could say something to me and it'd be fine, and the next day it wouldn't be fine.
That's what I think.
It's just, so I always just tell people to say what they want to say. I'm very open, I'm very honest, and I've actually told people, like, I can't today. You know, like someone wanted to give me a hug at work, and I mean, she could tell by my face that I was having a bad day, and I just said, I can't today. And I've just found if I'm honest with people, you know, and I want them to be honest too, and nobody does know what to say. And I still say stupid things to people. I met Darnell Parker. I knew Darnell Parker for years, and I ran into his wife shortly after he passed away. And I looked right at this pregnant woman who's about to give birth, just lost her husband, and I said, "How are you doing?" And I stopped myself and I said, "I am so sorry. I know better."
Right.
That was the dumbest thing for me to ask you. But it's our nature. We can't help it.
It's our nature. Your mind was in the right place, I'm sure.
Yeah. And that's what I try to remember about everyone who approaches me. They mean well. No one is approaching me with, let's see if I can hurt Tori today.
No.
You know, and so I just try to give people that grace that I want, you know, and that's all we can do.
It even empathize, I don't think is even a big enough word. I don't even know what the word is for something, you know.
I don't know either, to be honest with you. I don't.
Because you can't even empathize. Because empathize means you're trying to put yourself in that position, and
Nobody wants to. I don't blame them.
that's true too,
I don't
right?
want to either.
Yeah, you don't even want to go there.
And honestly, like, I hear other stories. I'm on several Facebook groups with grieving parents, you know, and I hear other stories, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what they're going through. And then I'm stopped myself, and I'm like, well, you dummy. You can imagine because you're going through it too, you know,
right?
But it just, I don't know. Everybody's got a different story, but it all kind of has the same outcome, and, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, tell us the story that you want to tell us.
Okay. So Ben graduated from Loveland High School. He went all 12 years here. Happy kid. Came into our lives at a great time. We needed him. We'd had several deaths in the family of some prominent, members like my grandfather and different things. And so he came along when we really needed him and was the baby that we all just kind of sat and stared at. And,
Oh.
he has a bunch of older cousins that just loved him. And so just, kind of had this, we're not by any means rich. We're middle class America. But, our kids always had what they wanted. He has two older sisters that adored him. And yeah, so he played sports all through, played just about every sport you can think of, at least once. Wrestling was the one I was glad he didn't continue. Those wrestling meets are no joke.
Oh, they're stressful as a
yeah.
parent. I can't imagine.
Yeah. So, focused then towards the end on basketball, football, lacrosse, and then after freshman year of high school, gave up the basketball. It's too hard to do three sports. It really is. And so he, starting sophomore year, was on varsity for both football and lacrosse, had tons of friends, had a girlfriend, never, ever a kid that was bullied or had any of these other, parents that had been together since we were 15, attending all his events, his sister's there. He has 3 nieces and a nephew.
Oh, neat.
And you notice I go back and forth between the present and the past. I
Sure.
can't control that.
Sure.
I just...
what year was this? I'm sorry.
So it was 2021.
Okay.
He graduated in 2020.
Okay.
So he lost his senior season of lacrosse. Didn't get to have a real graduation. Didn't get to take his girlfriend to prom. All these things that every other kid that year went through, right? It wasn't just him. They all did. And he didn't quite know what he wanted to do with his life. He knew he didn't want to go to college. I think he would have played lacrosse in college, but without that senior season, we didn't get to make those visits. We didn't get to try to do put something together. And so he just was kind of floundering, finding his way. And, but again, we were always so supportive. If you want to work at UPS the rest of your life, you will make a great job out of it, a great career. It'll be fine. You work at Kroger, it'll be fine.
No pressure. You do what you want.
We're not, we were not that kind of family.
Right.
My husband didn't go to college. He's a union carpenter. So, just kind of pressuring him to do something.
Right.
But, it doesn't have to be whatever. So he had finally made up his mind he wanted to be a fireman. And we were so excited. We met with some friends of ours who he is a fireman, and he spent some time talking to Ben and telling him all about it and just describing it. And so Ben was going to go to the Oaks in August because they have a great program. And this March 1st, you could stay up till midnight, so I guess really March 2nd, and apply for the civil servants test for Cincinnati. And so he decided he was going to do that and still have the Oaks as a backup.
Okay.
So I got up that Tuesday morning to go to work, and he was awake playing video games as usual. And he said, "Mom, I stayed up and signed up for the civil servant test. Great job. Really proud of you. That's awesome. We still have the fallback, whatever." A little bit later that day, around 1, I called him and I said, "Hey, I need you to bring me something. I forgot this bin of stuff to turn over to the lacrosse parents. Can you bring it to me?" Sure, reluctantly. So he brought it to me at RP Diamond, and we had a short little conversation, and I told him about something that was coming up on that Friday and he should go, and he gave me that maybe with that grin, and I knew that was probably a no. And he left, and he had lunch with his sister, who was work from home, and 3 hours later at 4:20, I got the phone call that he had hurt himself. And it was just that quick, and obviously I was in shock. I got home before the ambulance got there. I was by myself at work, so I'm like shutting everything down, texting my boss, and so how do you tell, so I'm got there before the ambulance, and honestly, I thought everything was going to be fine. I couldn't tell where he was hurt. He was bleeding, but I couldn't tell where. And he was breathing. But I think when the police officers and firemen got there, I think they knew. I think they knew, and they quickly ushered us out. And they took him by air care down to UC. And pretty much as soon as we got there, they told us there was no hope. We had to wait until the next day for a final test, a final brain scan, and it kept getting put off and all this kind of stuff. And so finally by it was late that night on Wednesday.
More than 24 hours?
More than 24 hours.
Oh, my God.
They tell us finally for sure, but they had really already told us, but we had to wait for this test. And, it was the test will be at 10 a.m. No, we have to push it back to noon. We have to push it back to 2. And so the whole time we're sitting in this waiting room, and I just keep, you've got to tell me when this test is going to be, because I can't, I need to know what we're doing. I can't keep having this little bit of hope because you say we need one more test, right? And so they finally did the other test, and there was no brain activity. And so we had already made the decision to donate his organs. Wow. And so then that became another process. That didn't happen until Friday.
Wow.
So that's what a lot of the story, a lot of people don't know, is we spent that 4 days at the hospital. Jeez. From Tuesday to Friday. And
the extra 2 days because of...
Well, they were going to start looking for organ donors on that Wednesday night, and they had a problem with his blood pressure. So then that stopped everything. So they stopped looking for organ donors, and they spent all day Thursday regulating his blood pressure, turning him different ways, medications, whatever. I don't even remember what all they were doing. And then finally Thursday night, they started again looking for donors.
And you already knew that he was gone.
Yeah, we knew finally on Wednesday for sure.
To go from your son just died to having, not to worry about that, but to go through.
Yeah, it was a lot. When we got to the hospital, they delayed us leaving. Ben was gone. They took him by ambulance to the middle school, which was where air care met them. I heard the air care go, and I can just remember standing there I have to leave. And the officer would not let us leave until my other daughter got there to drive us because he didn't want us driving.
Right.
Which, in hindsight, I know why he was doing that.
Sure.
On the flip side, I'm just you have to let me go. I have to go be with my son. I need to go. And so we got down to UC, and it was just this surreal. We get up to the window, and it's COVID, and they're like, well, only 2 of you can come in. Oh, wow. So they made my daughter sit in the car in a dark parking lot.
And how old was she?
2 daughters. They were 36 and 31, wow. 30. Yeah. They made them sit with my sister. My sister was there too. Made them sit in a dark parking lot, not knowing what's going on with us inside, not getting any word. As soon as we got there, they ushered my husband and I into this little room no bigger than where we're sitting now. And you knew right away when you went in that room it wasn't going to be good, because we didn't even get to wait in the waiting room. We just went straight to this room. And they came in and said that they didn't feel that there was any hope. But we still have to do this test, right?
Right.
So.
And then they kept test. When's the test coming? When's the test coming?
Yeah.
But it seems like you weren't able to, not that the healing process starts that soon, but then when you knew he was gone, you were still put off because of the donation part.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm pro donation. I'm all about donation, but it seems like that made things almost harder on the family.
In some ways, yes, but in other ways, we were able to spend that time with him.
Okay.
I mean, we were able to go be with him, and
Okay.
they kind of, once we got to that point, they relaxed most of the restrictions. During the day, they were still kind of tight. They would just let my husband and I, our two daughters, and our son-in-law be up there. We kept sneaking extra people in. And then when nighttime came, it seemed like the restrictions went away and we could have anybody we wanted.
Okay.
They were pretty tight about only a couple people back with him, but it's a room where they're taking care of someone. So,
Right.
and I can't say enough of those people at UC. I never want to go back there again, but
Mm-mm.
they were tremendous. They're so kind, and they, take care of you and that kind of thing. But it was. And why your test keeps getting pushed off because there's there's someone that came in a car accident. There's someone that did this that has to have this test, that has to. So we just kept getting pushed back. But on the flip side, I'm just like, you don't understand. Like,
No.
I need, I need
Not
to know what
knowing.
we're doing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to transition.
Well, I can tell you that sitting at the hospital for those 4 days, they took my phone away from me for a while because they didn't want, this is my family. But when I did have my phone, I would just sit there and look at his pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept saying, how could this happen to my family? How could this happen to my son? And not because I think that we're so special or anything, but just because we were so ordinary and everything, like he didn't hit any of the triggers. He didn't, exhibit any of the signs that people talk about. And so I just remember very early on my oldest daughter and I saying, we're not going to be quiet. Because if this could happen to Ben, it can happen to anybody. And if it can happen to my family, it can happen to your family.
Right.
And I think it was a huge wake-up call for a lot of people in Loveland. I know for a lot of my friends it was.
Yeah.
And everybody had the same reaction that we did. So, as a parent, you sit there and you think about, like, did I miss this? What did I miss?
Mm-hmm.
Where was, was there something I should have seen? And when I talk to his friends, when I talk to other parents, when I talk to teachers and coaches,
No.
it's across the board. So that does give me some peace, maybe I want to call it, that I didn't miss something, because if I did, everybody else did too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'll never know if it was a rash decision that he made, or if this was something that he struggled with anxiety for years. I'll never know. And I've talked to mothers who did get notes, and we kind of decided that, we each think the other one is better off, but it really doesn't matter.
Right.
Because even when you have the note, you don't have the answers. It doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah. It won't make sense.
Yeah.
So you and your daughter said, we're not going to be quiet.
Right.
So that led to.
First off, one of the things was, you don't want your child's name to be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I did was contact Loveland High School and said, hey, can we do a scholarship for Ben? Now, this was March, and scholarships were due in February. And they were like, of course, you can do whatever you want to do. So we organized and pulled together a scholarship application, and they got it out to all the football and lacrosse players, because that's how we decided to word the first one. And so in May, 2 months later, we gave out 3 scholarships.
Wow.
1 main one and 2 additional ones. And then it just kind of snowballed from there, I want to say. Like, you have to raise, we were given, this community was so wonderful in their support. There's so many things behind the scenes that people just don't even realize. We moved because we couldn't live where we lived anymore. I wouldn't have been able to do that without this community. We pretty much, got rid of everything we had and started over. Wow. And obviously other than mementos and stuff like that. But it's kind of funny, but we were literally building IKEA furniture after the service.
Wow.
My family's there. We're all in separate rooms building different things. I mean, you look back on it and you're just like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? But,
Yeah,
like, I didn't know what else to do.
I was going to say.
So that's what we did. And
You do what you need to do.
you're right. So we used some of that money from the community to do the first scholarships. And then it became, how are we going to raise money to keep doing scholarships? And so my son-in-law wanted to do a golf outing. So we did the first golf outing on Father's Day. Son-in-law wanted to do it, but he didn't plan it. So my daughter and I, who know nothing about golf, planned this first golf outing, and it was very successful. And then it just became other things, like other areas of the community wanted to support. I think Cartridge was one of the first ones. They did a night for us and had a fundraiser. And then, we've done many fundraisers at Cappy's. We do fundraisers. We had the big one for me is his birthday. I can't let that go. Mm-hmm. So we do a foaling event. Mm-hmm. It's always the Sunday after Super Bowl.
Okay.
Because his birthday was the 11th of February. And we just go and have fun. And there's a tournament. The Tigers Inc. boys and girls do the bracket for that. And we have a tournament and people play. And we have cake.
That's
and
great.
We have food. And just kind of have a little party. And so then it became, I wanted to do a mental health event.
Okay.
And I said, I want it to be a football game because obviously that's the biggest thing. Anderson High School lost a boy in December of 2021 as well, named Brock Vogel. And I reached out to his mom and I said, I want to do this event. I don't know if you're going to be ready or want to be a part of it, but I'd like it to be Loveland versus Anderson and have it be a joint school event. And both the schools were just tremendous and jumped right on it. And so this past fall we had the second one, which was at Anderson. We had a trophy created out of an old helmet.
Oh, neat.
Has both logos on it. Has 988, which is the suicide prevention hotline.
Wow.
And the schools pass it back and forth. Whichever team wins gets the helmet for that year. And it was such a powerful event. When you see Loveland and Anderson fans all in teal and purple, none of them wearing the black and orange.
Right.
Like, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. It was so healing for me to see that many people cared. And I think it was for Holly as well, Brock's mom. And to just be a part of that and to see the community come together. And then it went a little crazy, and we did about 50 of them at different schools. Not another football one, but gosh, we did, I can't tell you how many basketball games and lacrosse games and softball and baseball. And Fairfield will have us out for the whole week and do every event.
Wow.
And this fall we did more football games. We did Lebanon, we did Fairfield, and then obviously did the same one again with Anderson. But it's just kind of exploded, and it's been wonderful to see. I think it's the right time.
It is.
I think people are more open to it now than they've ever been. I've talked to a lot of people who maybe this happened to 7 or 8 years ago and they didn't get the same reception as we got now. And I think it's just a difference in time. I think people are ready. Mental
Illness and what people are going through. Yeah, it's not a stigma. I don't even like that word, but anymore. People are talking with the Hope Squad. That is now, very prevalent in the schools. People are talking about what high schoolers are going through like never before. Social media and all these pressures that, are new. Nobody knows how to handle them.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm a high school teacher, and we don't know. We're all learning at the same time. We're all learning together. Yeah. So
a lot of good things have come. I mean, we did the first year, we did the 3 scholarships. The second year, we did 9.
Wow.
This third year, we did 9. It's only been 2 years, but it's 3 years of scholarships. It's kind of weird.
Well, you started
Because we just
Yeah,
started right
off-
away.
Yeah.
So 21 scholarships in 2 years.
That's
It's not
amazing.
a bad gig. We do one for lacrosse, one for football, and now we've opened it up and we do one for a volunteer. So anyone, we found that like the golf kids are volunteering, the Hope Squad kids are volunteering, and we wanted them to have an opportunity to have a scholarship as well. So that's been really special to me. And just being there that night and being able to talk about who Ben was and to reward these kids. I mean, Ben loved nothing more than if someone gave him money. So,
That's
and
good.
we put absolutely no restrictions on the money. I don't care what your grades are. I don't care if you're going to college. I just, you write a nice essay and that's all that matters.
That's amazing. So, as far as the foundation goes,
Mm-hmm.
is it just you running it with his sisters, or how's the foundation run?
So it started with me and his oldest sister, Ashley. She, after about a year, decided she needed to step away. She has 4 children,
Okay.
which, completely understand. She needs to focus
Yes.
on her 4 kids. She's there, as well as his other sister, Chelsea, for me to bounce ideas off of.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is there for moral support. He doesn't really want to do anything else other than that. He'll be my luggage carrier and all that kind of stuff, but he doesn't want to be in front. So I decided I needed to get really serious about this, and I needed a board, and it couldn't just be my family.
Mm-hmm.
I needed other input, so I reached out to my friends, some that I had known for years and some that just kind of really got close with me after this.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have different strengths. Some of them still have kids in school. Some, their kids have graduated, so they have a little more time to devote. And so we have currently 8 board members, I believe,
Wow.
all women.
That's a big board. That's great.
It is. It's, but when you've got all these events, you need all those
Sure.
people, because I found very quickly I can't be everywhere
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And that's been one of the hardest things for me, is letting some of it go,
Sure.
letting that control go. They kind of all laugh at me, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Good. Anything? Well, let's see. We're at 26 minutes, so we're good. I have to cut a little bit. Anything you want to add as a final thought?
I would like to talk about, we have a new program.
Great.
It is called Ben's Way. It's not my idea of Ben. I think we all know, as a parent, we have different ideas of our kids than what other people see. These are ideas that were pulled from the scholarship applications. These are the things that his peers said about him. That he was kind, that he helped others, that he was always looking out for someone else. I would have told you I'm fighting with him every day to take the garbage out. These are, we see different things as
Sure.
parents.
Right.
So I always try to make it clear that this isn't my idea of Ben. This was what his peers said about him. And this was the last year in May that the kids will know Ben. There really aren't any kids. I mean, there's a few brothers and sisters, maybe, but the majority of them are gone now. And so we wanted a way to carry on Ben, not just through the scholarship, but so we started Ben's Way. One of our board members, Kate Jackson, had the idea. And so she and I brainstormed, and I've gotten sponsors for it. And it started at Loveland, and it's a great program. Literally, you get nominated for doing something good. You don't know that you've been nominated. You don't know that someone saw you. They send an email to us. We review it and make sure it fits Ben's Way. And then they are given a $25 gift card. They have no idea who nominated them.
Oh, that's cool.
The principal gets to call them down to his office and do something good and give them his card. So I'll use the one example of a girl who got it. She got it because she helped another girl and spent some time with her. So she put a smile on this girl's face. Now she got a gift card, so she got a smile put on her face. The principal got a smile because he got to give it to her.
Sure.
And how enjoyable that was. Then Kate and I get this huge smile
Heck
because
yeah.
this is awesome. And then we went and we had donuts with the first 4 recipients and got to talk to them and interact with them. And they're such good kids. We have good kids out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that rewarding their wonderful behavior.
It doesn't happen enough.
No, it doesn't. And Kate always says smiles are contagious.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that one $25 gift card, we've given all these smiles. And GE Credit Union sponsored it at Loveland. We are in talks we will start it the second semester at the middle school. I have a local family who's sponsoring it at the middle school.
Oh, that's neat.
I'm in talks with 2 other high schools locally. I have half the sponsorship for one. So this is something that I can see that we can take and do just about anywhere.
Yeah, spread it around the tri-state.
Yep.
That'd be so neat.
Yep.
Ben's way.
Ben's way.
Hello, I'm Elise Knapschafer, back for another Loveland High School Weekly Update. This week there's a lot going on for students both in and outside of the building. To start things off, on Tuesday, there's fall signing day for any athletes who plan to further their athletic careers past high school and into college. Another thing going on this week is the school musical, which runs from Wednesday the 15th to Saturday the 18th. The school musical is called Something Rotten, and you can purchase your tickets on the Loveland High School website. Finally, another big one this week is Camp Kern, which, although being for 5th graders, needs a lot of high schoolers as counselors, so a lot of juniors and seniors will be out this week, Wednesday through Friday, helping to be camp counselors, help with crafts, activities, and all that. Thank you.
In Loveland City News, I'd like to offer congratulations to our mayor, Kathy Bailey, Andy Bateman, and newcomer Brian Goodman on their Loveland City Council election wins this last week. We'd also like to congratulate Lynn Mangan and Christina Jernick on winning their elections for positions on the Loveland City School Board. Well done, everyone. We have something truly special here in Loveland. Thank you for listening, and have a great week. This episode was produced and engineered by On Brand Studios and recorded at Grailville, a magical place here locally like no other. Please note that the opinions expressed in the podcast do not necessarily represent the views of our sponsors or organization.